So what are you bringing to early Thanksgiving? What do y'all want to bring? What does Flip want to cook? He's always got something up his sleeve.
Hey, how are you?
Cider dessert, because y'all are the
Cider dessert.
All right, good. No, but I didn't know how
choice.
it is a big coat. How you doing? We need a big coat.
You ready for this?
Hey, Aubrey.
Cool.
Is it 7:30, right? Is it 7:30?
You got a copy of it?
Was it 7:30?
So much for
7:30? Sure.
We've tried, haven't we?
I can't see for the glare. Hey.
Mm-hmm. I thought about
So
getting
no
Springdale.
Bemis complaints?
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
No complaints this
Nope.
month?
Where'd it
Huh.
No complaints?
No request for service either?
No request for services? I don't think we've even had any informal, I haven't had even any informal growling about anything, rah. Have you? Nothing.
Okay.
We're either not doing anything or we're doing everything right, so. At least from the perspective of the public. I can't imagine we're doing everything right, but right enough.
Okay, Steve's out of town.
You just tell me when to go.
Steve's out of
No,
town.
So,
I can't see you because of the glare, Steve.
oh, okay.
Thumbs up.
You rolling? Okay.
Is it time?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay. We will call the November 17, 2011 meeting of the City of Fayetteville Telecommunications Board to order. Do roll call. Mr. Ehrig.
Here.
Ms. Pennington is here. Mr. Shepard.
Here.
Mr. Smith is absent, and I hope he's enjoying himself in New Orleans.
Oh, well, you should have told us that.
Mr. Spearman.
Here.
And Mr. Spencer.
Here.
All right. Noting the presence of a quorum, we'll move into approval of the October minutes. Mr. Spencer noted in number 7 on page 7 that 40 work days was probably a little off, and I believe I'd said 8 work days. So that was the only thing I'd said, detailing the time that was spent on Mr. Bemis's complaints.
Okay.
I think I just divided 67 hours by 8. It was something like 8.5 days. So I would ask that be the only change, well, my only change. Any other changes? If there are no changes, I would entertain a motion to adopt as amended.
Make the motion.
So,
I move we adopt.
is there a second?
Second.
On a motion by Mr. Shepard and a second by Mr. Ehrig. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the minutes are approved. Next, we move into approval of the agenda for tonight. Any changes, additions, deletions, or motions?
Mr. Chairman, as you discuss the agenda for this evening, I would like to make note that it looks different than what we've been doing traditionally in the last few months. And that is because it was brought to our attention that in the administrative rules as currently adopted for the board, there's in Article 6, it specifically states the order of agenda or order of business for the agenda for the meetings. And this agenda reflects that very closely. There's not anything in the Article 6 regarding a report from the public access operator or the education channel people or anything like that. I wanted to bring that to your attention so those items might be added for this evening. And then I know that Mr. Smith has requested that continued discussion of possibly amending the rules of the administrative rules continue into December. And he specifically asked that the board look at Article 6 to possibly make some changes, and I think those would be some good changes to discuss. And I can tell you specifically in tonight's agenda that we will not have a report from the city cable franchisee. We do not traditionally have those from Cox Communications.
Well, I would move to delete point 1 under new business and add the report from the cable access provider. Were there any other, Fritz, did I miss something else?
I don't think so. Are you going to have some discussion about the administrative rules, or at least just to table it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it'll be included as old business.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll address that when we get to that.
I don't have any other new business to put on here at this time.
Okay. Any second to my amendment?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. The amendment carries. Any other changes that the committee would like to make? If not,
Well, the question then, the television center manager's report includes the your media, whatever we're calling it.
No, the
No.
amendment that just passed will include the public access.
Yeah.
It was the
So
public
we-
access operator's report.
we delete number 1.
Instead of, yes,
and
it's going there.
Number 2
Okay.
becomes the new number 1.
That's,
and then number 2 is report from your media.
okay. Very good.
So all those in favor of the agenda as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. The ayes have it. We will move into old business, which is discussion of amendments to Article 6 and Article 7. Mr. Smith had asked that we pass this to December, and if there's no objection, we will just pass on that tonight. Without objection, we'll move into new business and a report from the television center manager, Mr. Giesler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We don't have a whole lot to report for this month. We just continue to move forward as we do. November is sometimes a kind of a strange month. As we're moving into the holiday season, boards and commissions change their meeting schedules to accommodate for holidays and things like that. So we've had to make some accommodations for that, but nothing that has not been, anything that we had any difficulty handling. It's just sometimes a juggle when people reschedule their meetings. We had a really good mayor's town hall meeting on Monday night last. As I'm sure you're aware, but there might be some people that aren't, that the government channel covers those meetings and provides not only video recording and then retelecast of those meetings. We also provide all the AV support for those meetings as well. So it takes quite a crew to go in there and set those meetings up and have then produce those programs. And I always want to give my crew a big thumbs up for the work that they do. We actually had 3 meetings that night, and everybody was right there and being able to accommodate all that. As we go forward, if you came in the lobby of the City Hall this evening, you may have noticed a new digital signage display active in the lobby that is now showing all of the lists of the meetings of the week. So as people come to meetings in the City Hall, they're able to look at that board and see where a meeting might be held. And they may have not remembered what room it was in or exactly what time, and they can look at that board, and it has a constantly changing display of what meetings are held, what room they are in, and what time, day and time they are. It also has information of every city council member and their contact information. And that's one of the things that the staff at the television center does, is we provide the support and the content for the digital signage installations in the city of Fayetteville. We have 2 here in City Hall at this time that provide information ranging from what street closings are happening right now to information about how to get your water bill taken care of, to, as I just said, meeting information and other things. And we also have one in the district court building, and that one was part of being instrumental in getting that building's LEED certification, because it was part of the education component. So that's another thing that the television center staff does. So we're glad of that. It's another part of us working to bring our mission statement to reality, and that is to help make Fayetteville government more accessible. In terms of the facility, the production facility, we just keep moving forward. Everyone's, it's day-to-day operations. We're hoping to have new signage on the front of the building by this point, but that's kind of stalled a little bit. Project is in process, it's just not done yet. So hopefully that'll be done by the end of the year. And anybody have any questions?
How long does it take for the showing of all those pieces downstairs? Will that be, is it a 5-minute production or?
Do you mean with the meeting information?
Right.
It's totally dependent on how many meetings there are on the list. So if it's a week that only has 5 meetings in it, it'll take no more than about 15 seconds for those things to loop through. But if there's several meetings, it shows 3 meetings at a time, the information for 3. So those stay up long enough for someone to read them, and then it rolls to the next 3, and it rolls to the next 3. So if there's a week where there's a lot of meetings, it may take some, 3 or 4 minutes to roll through. But if there's only a few meetings, there's going to be a few seconds. So it's all dependent on that.
Well, that should be very helpful to get there and remember which room it is. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Fritz. Next is the report from the public access provider. And if you want to, you can do it at the podium or you can scoot up here with us.
I'll stand here, like old school. Hello, everyone. There's a lot of great stuff to report. I won't take too much of your time. It's pretty well outlined in my report to you. Suffice it to say, I stand here and we've already met all our contractual obligations regarding candidate producers for 2011. In this very room, 2 nights ago, the City Council unanimously passed our contract for 2012. With about 4 City Council members making very positive comments about our work this past year, and Don Marr as well, reporting that the city was very pleased with what we had done. If you look at some of the comparisons on the highlights section, you'll see that we're already well over 100 new trainees in the building this year. We had the highest number of new candidate producers in October for any month that wasn't a test out month. Those of you who've been around a while remember that we had a couple of quarters in which we did do test out sessions for high school students. So this is just new folks coming into the facility for the first time and becoming candidate producers. 8 of the 11 new trainees directly reported coming in because they'd heard about it through the water bill insert or the flyers or the brochures that we've been distributing. And in short, since I know this is maybe a short meeting, I'll just say things are going great. And if you want to read the full report, you'll see that. We couldn't be happier with the number of new folks that are coming into the facility, the way the facility is looking, the reports from the users on how well they are responding to the classes, and I'll just take any questions if you have them.
And y'all continue to do a fantastic job over there.
Thanks. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with Fritz and to really create a year that has made all of us feel better about being there and the service that we're providing to Fayetteville residents. So,
Are your producer trainees representative of the community as far as all age groups,
yeah,
long-term residents, and newcomers? Is it a pretty good cross mix?
That's a very good. I don't know as far as newcomers versus folks who've lived here a while. Mm-hmm. What we can look at is age, mm-hmm. and I would say we've talked about. I would say our new producers, the youngest since I've been there has been 9, who came through with his father at the end of last year. Next week we have a couple of producers from last year coming back for a refresher course in studio production, and that is a mom and her 3 homeschooled kids, because they're going to produce a show in the studio, a take on what Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, but it's Are You Smarter Than a 4-H'er. So that family has some young participants in it. I don't know the average age. That would look for that in my end of year report. I think that would be good to note. But yeah, and certainly you can see in the reports that they're coming from every ward in the city. So there are people across Fayetteville who are using the facility.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ann. Before we go on, I'd also like to note that Lindsley mentioned in an email to me, just reminding me to announce that the city had been named number 7 in the nation as far as digital cities. I don't know if you want to expound on that anymore.
I really don't have a whole lot that doesn't have a significant effect on what we're doing at Television Center. I think that was very much a reflection of the city's commitment on an overall basis. We do provide, at the Television Center, we do provide quite a bit of content through our several different means. And I know that the video on demand functions that we provide and the content there and the web streaming of the channel for the government channel played a part in that. But it's also very indicative of the citizens and the residents of Fayetteville and how they utilize the digital capabilities that are out there. It's not just what the city of Fayetteville does, but when I say city of Fayetteville, as the administration and the city government, but it is always a group effort, and the residents have made a big part of that with their involvement and how the interaction works. And Community Link, City of Fayetteville's Community Link was quite a part of that, and the city's efforts to help connect people utilizing social media and utilizing those types of things that really played a part in that as well.
Okay. Any other comments?
Well, one thing, short takes, I don't know how many you've had this week, but I noticed we had a few new people starting to utilize it. I wanted to remind everybody it's from 5 to 6 p.m. on Monday that a person can come in. If you're a resident of Fayetteville, all you have to do is prove. You don't even have to be a licensed, a registered voter for that, just a resident of the city to do your own short program of up to 5 minutes. And it's been underutilized at times this year. And also you can come on Thursday between 11 a.m. and noon if you miss the Monday session. So it's a great opportunity that I think everybody would enjoy doing, as I do. Thank you.
It is a great opportunity. I have to say, Short Takes is one of those things that's unique about Fayetteville and the ability to do that. And I would also add that all of the public access television services that are provided by the city are free of charge to residents of Fayetteville. And as Mr. Shepherd pointed out, you don't have to be a citizen of Fayetteville. All you have to do is live here and be a resident.
Any committee reports? If not, I don't see any citizens in the audience, but would be glad to open it up to any citizens on the board. If not, any announcements?
We'll have next month's meeting. We'll be back in room 326 up on the 3rd floor, and then going forward from next month, we'll be in that room for our meetings.
Be glad to be back there. Did Doc have I couldn't remember if he'd had an announcement or not. Oh, yes. For next meeting, Dr. Smith asked that we add 2 items to the agenda. Add 2. One is a motion to rescind the request for an Attorney General's opinion that was passed in the October meeting. Discussion of proposed changes in the Telecommunications Board ordinance, because we figure we'll have the city attorney's opinion by then. And then as part of old business, we'll continue our discussion of the proposed changes in Articles 6 and 7 of the administrative rules. Any other announcements? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I shall move.
And on motion by Mr. Spearman and second by Mr. Ehrig, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Meeting is adjourned.